interesting presentation. Thanks so much for giving it. My question is about hallucinations where they're based on self-contained or logical questions or logical data. For example, if I ask an LLM what's 4231 times 1234, it'll get it wrong, and it'll give the wrong explanation for why it's wrong. And it's not just that, it's also anything that you give a set of logical facts and ask it to do some kind of deduction on it. So my question is twofold, because I didn't see at least an explanation why. What's your hypothesis why that happens? And B, what are some short-term fixes that you can see, or are there some longer-term fixes that your company is working on? I'd be very interested in something that it's close to the work that I'm doing.
Yeah, so I mean, logical reasoning is a well-known limit to these models, and so, I mean, one of the things I found with GPT-4 is great at many things. It can't do. It can't help me solve what's that puzzle? I'm blanking on the name. The 5-letter thing every day. Wordle. You cannot give. I would give it constraints with Wordle. I have these 3 letters. They're in this order. Give me the answer, and 20 times it won't solve it. And there's lots of examples like that where it has to do some kind of mental math or some kind of deduction. So these models differ from what we call old-fashioned AI models, where old-fashioned models from the 60s and 70s and 80s, they were deductive reasoning systems, and that's not how these models work. You're going to give it an answer, and they generate one. Now, people have experimented with things like chain of thought, prompting, and some prompting strategies that can help improve these things. But I don't think it's a solved problem, and it's also not something we're focused on specifically because we're more interested in we're providing search, and so the type of problems we face, there's not a lot of multi-step, multi-hop reasoning required. That's not to say that isn't an important problem. It is, but people aren't going into our search system and saying, what is the square root of this number, or something like that. They're just looking up information.